All right, everyone. Welcome to the last lesson for while loops, where we talk about how to control it so that we avoid infinite loop. So let's start off with infinite loops. Infinite loops are iterations that never terminate. So here's an example. While true, we're going to print that I am still looping. And if we're done that while loop, we're going to print I have now exited the loop. However, in this code example here, we don't actually exit the loop because we have the statement while true. This is a very easy way to write an infinite loop because true is never false. True is always true. Therefore, the while loop's Boolean condition always remains true and never becomes false. So this is a prime example of a lot of beginner programmers tend to write Boolean conditions for their while loop that never turns false. So they end up being stuck in an infinite loop. So that is something that I do want you to watch out for. So let's look at some common errors. So in the left here, I have variable num is equal to 100. And we're going to say, well, while num is greater than 0, print num. Now, you might not have this exact code, but a lot of beginner programmers make this mistake where they're referring to a variable created outside of the while loop, but they never manipulate it or update it inside the while loop. Hence, the condition always remains true, and they execute too many code blocks, or they repeat the code block too many times, and it will alter the result. So the problem is the num is not changing. It is always greater than 0. Another one is you have a string-based while loop where you're comparing the value of a string because you wanted to change the input or take multiple inputs, and you forget to update the variable outside of the while loop. Therefore, once again, here, you're getting a new value, but you did not update that value into user input, so user input is always invalid. So how does a while loop end? A while loop only ends if the Boolean condition that we gave for the while loop becomes false. If it evaluates to true, we go inside the code block. If it evaluates to false, we move on with the rest of our code. So that's what I want you to focus on. Like in this example, our num is set to 20. We're outputting all the numbers from 20 while our num is greater than 0. And on every iteration on the bottom, we're always taking away 1 so that we can guarantee that num will at some point be equal to 0 or less. So there are real world applications of infinite loops called game loops. And what I want you to do is just take a little pause and read this through, and then you'll join me a bit. All right, moving on. Let's talk about using a flag. Flag is a value that acts as a signal for a function or a process in programming. So what's a binary flag? Flag that can only have two possible values. Most often, we give it either values of true or false. So let's examine this example here. I have a variable num is equal to 2, and I have a new variable called flag set to true. And then I said, well, while my flag variable is true, so while flag, we're going to print number, and we're going to continuously square it. And we're going to grab a new value by creating a new variable called user input, and we're going to ask the user, do you want to exit? And if they input either capital Y or lowercase y, seen in this if statement here, we're going to set the flag to false. Once that flag is set to false, and we're going to check it at the while loop, it will have its Boolean condition set to false, therefore not repeating the code block. Okay, so using that idea, I want you to create a rock, paper, scissors program. So you're playing rock, paper, scissors against the computer. You need to grab the user's choice. The computer has to generate a choice, and we're going to run the logic algorithm to determine who's the winner, and we're going to output the result. So what we wanted to do is create a while loop such that it will ask the user if they want to play again, if they won or lost. So that's what I want you to try out as a final practice for using while loops. And we're going to get into solving some complex problems and looking at a whole different collection of problems dealing with repetition. Thank you for watching. Stay classy.